Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high level best of 3. The initiated already see who our Terran player is, but the new ones might not, as we're indeed, whoa, Shin versus Clem in nothing more and nothing less than a best of 3 here, starting on White Rabbit. A TVZ from the maestro of Terran himself, the former world champ. Don't forget, he's not the current world champion. But the former world champion over here, our good friend Clem, taking on Shin. And Shin is a player that, you know, plays a little bit different. As of late, by the way, Clem hasn't looked as unbeatable in this matchup as before. I feel like there are currently 4 people that can consistently take maps and even series off of Clem. And those players are Cyril, Raynor, Solar, and Shin. And I think it's a wild card, so not consistently, but every now and again. I'd even add Rogue into that list as well, where before it felt like Clem was practically unbeatable in this matchup. Nowadays, there's definitely a multitude of Zergs that is capable of giving him a hard time, and sometimes more than a hard time. A damn difficult time. A time which Clem doesn't like, okay? A time in which he doesn't win the games, but loses them, which is probably the worst thing that can happen to you in the world. 6-ling run by starting off here, out of Shin. As he's going to get scouted here by the SCV. It's going to upset him a little bit. We'll see what the Reaper does. Most likely we're going to go into Marine as a follow-up. So there's 2 ways you can approach this. We'll frequently see Reapers move across the map anyway, and just a double Marine opener. Reapers then try to go for link spots. So you see we have a slightly different path than usual. We go towards the bottom side, into the main base to try and scout for roaches. However, the Clem's issue is much more pressing than the roaches. Okay, he's not believing it. Clem understands what this is. He knew this was a pool first. He just didn't respect it. He called the bluff, except it wasn't a bluff. You know? This is when you have a mate that consistently pretends like he's gonna punch you in the face. And every time you flinch, you know, he calls you a moron for flinching. Then at some point you stop flinching and he just starts punching you in the face. And this is what happens. You now have a broken nose. Congratulations, Clem. I hope you feel good about yourself. Reaper's going to need to come all the way back home. At least he did no, he didn't even confirm that there's no Roach Warren. Oh, this is such a dramatic opener here. I think there's a couple of things that can happen, and we'll go into those options once this is finally cleaned up. But this is significant damage. Almost all of it indirect. Delay on the command center. Like, not just straight up. Like, we have 2 SCV kills, which is significant, but he's also lost a drone and 6 links, so just at like the direct resources lost, this looks fairly decent for Clem. But if you think of like the delay in orbital command, the delay in SCV production, the delay in mining from the natural, delay in the 3rd CC, the delay in tech, you know, all the mining time lost as well, like it's just a very big deal. And Clem, behind all of this, actually is playing what would be considered greedy. He did not get the full confirmation that there's not going to be a Roach Warren. So there could have been a Roach follow-up. Had it been a Roach follow-up, he would have just died. And I think Clem just accepted that here as a fact. He was like, okay, if my opponent is going to go for a Roach attack, I'm dead. But if I'm going to add a blind bunker right now, I'm dead either way. Like, I'm freaking cooked. I have nothing going on for me. It's still going to be Banshee behind this. We have a 3rd depot that now needs to be built because this 3rd CC is so late. One of the main perks, let me tell you, of opening up with triple CC is that you can skip this 3rd depot for so long because you get unsupply blocked by finishing your command center. The fact that Clem now needs to add this depot into the mix, yeah, it just feels wacky. It doesn't feel nice as, yeah, we're going to have a big Ling run by coming in. Aliens need to return back home. We don't have a split off into the natural, which is surprising to me. I think Shin mismanaged that a little bit. Now the Hellions are going to show up as well. A couple of SCVs are going to fall, but I think this could have been much worse here. Most definitely for Clem. Had a couple of links, just split off immediately into the natural. The best thing that Clem can do in that case is stop mining altogether from the net. And that means what, like another 200 minerals or so in mining time lost. You're probably going to get at least 1 or 2 SCVs as well with that. Ends up killing 4 in the main base, full worker pool as well. This is going to get cleaned up. 43 workers to 32. I think Clem is probably eyeing a run by at this point. I don't think he is going to be complacent here. He's going to just sit back, relax, be like, okay, I took some damage. But now I'm just going to play a standard macro game. I think we're going to see a more aggressive Clem when it comes to this Hellion movement. And that's going to play right into Shin's hand because he already has 22 links out to catch any potential attacks. Oh my god, he's going to go for another run by. That is actually crazy. No full wall. Shin is unaware of these 2 Hellions here. See how fast the response is out of Clem. Is it quick enough? Yeah, well, it kind of is. Now we get to split off into the main base. Let's see what the move is at the same time. Hellions coming back home. A couple of links moving away. Look at this micro. Really nice. With the zoom out feature, it's so good to see how difficult this type of control is. Different groups of links out here. Meanwhile, the Banshee flies into the Spore. Takes a lot of damage straight into the face. 7 SCVs end up going down. And Shin not just outmaneuvering his opponent, but also out-microing his opponent in these fights. Just phenomenal link control in these situations. Multitasking looking tight as well. Was ready for the Banshee. Responded quicker with the Queens as well than Clem did with the Banshee. And right now we're in a situation where it's a 16 worker advantage for the Zerg player. We have +1 carapace on the way already. E-base aren't even done yet. Lairs, what, 25, 30, 40% done or so. So I am a big fan of the position that Shin finds himself in. This fort base, however, is going to get taken out. There's really not a whole lot you can do about that. You don't have an Overseer, you don't have a forward Spore. Link count is actually... Oh, it's 18. He's going to go for another run by. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you again. Fool me 3 times, Clem says. We won't get fooled again. Links are going to split off, see if they can get in here. This is a largely unsuccessful Ling run by. 3 drones went down during it as well. So Clem taking back a little bit of space in this game, allowing himself maybe to act more aggressively in the mid game. Ooh, Mass Hydra. Nice cloak. It can actually save that Banshee as well, which is exactly what you would want in this type of situation. Yeah, I mean, this is a death wish, no? If I've ever seen one. Imagine being this confident in your Banshee control. Okay, maybe you shouldn't have been. Or in his alien control. Oh no, how the mighty have fallen. Every single Hellion, every single Banshee. And Hellion Banshee is not necessarily great for joining pushes later on, although they have a function. They can easily defend tanks in the back, turn them into Hellbats, or with Banshees deal with potential flanks. But they're absolutely phenomenal at dealing with run-bys towards your third base. Right now, I think the only solution for Clem is to actually just... Oh, he still has 1 Banshee remaining. Okay, well, leave this Banshee at home at least. But on top of that, I think you might even need to think of adding a bunker here. I know that sounds stupid, but you need more damage output than just a single Banshee. I just don't think this is going to do the trick, but I could be wrong. Links once more are going to run back in. There's nothing really to hold this. And so once more, we're going to need a full SCV pool. Like, Shin is absolutely fine with these types of trades. It's like, okay, you're not mining with, what is it, like two mules at this point. You're going to lose 3-4 workers. You're not mining with 16 SCVs on top of that. Like, this is just a good overall trade. And then we also have like 7 workers going down here. Yeah. Pretty damn decent here for Shin. Who's just following this up with pure Hydra Ling, by the way. I'm not even sure if we have a Baneling Nest. So we do have a Baneling Nest. No Baneling speed quite yet. Here comes the flank with the Hydras from the left side, wanting to take out that tank. That, however, is going to backfire as Clem finds these Hydras, and 4 of them will fall. Good pickup. Loses the tank, but gets a decent trade overall. Shin only now going above 67 workers. Clem has a fort base started. And I think the one thing that I really would love to see here is an increased tank count. I'd almost say get rid of this reactor. I love Mine Tank together. It's such a hugely powerful combination. But I think if you're down 20, 25, 30 supply against Hydraling Bane with good upgrades, I'd almost say, you know, it's time to start walling a little bit. It is time to start thinking about surviving rather than about getting map control and killing. Of course, that is a dangerous trap that you can set for yourself, where you just become ultra passive. Zerg just overruns you eventually with 85, 90, 92 drones, 5 per Hydraling Bane. Let's not forget, this Fort CC hasn't landed yet either, which is probably going to be a very pivotal moment here in this game. Like, the key moment usually is bases landing for Terran, because it's when they're at their weakest. They don't have a planetary yet. They want to send SCVs over, and they're spreading themselves more thin than they were before. So changes in position will happen often in those types of cases. Could snipe a medevac here, gets 1. Doesn't get a second one. Nice target fire though on those Banelings from the high ground. You see your medevacs die, but at least you get a couple of snipes. Combat shield is being forgotten here, isn't it? Oh, that is a significant mistake. Holy crap, I hadn't even noticed. That is such a significant error here on Clem's part. No combat shield at all. Well, 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 well. Well, well, well. Actually, that is really bad. Like, the supplies are even at this point. Clem has found himself in a decent position when it comes to map control, when it comes to just overall unit counts. The lack of a combat shield is starting to worry me a bit as Shin now maneuvers towards the bottom side. Look at the timing here. Shin is doing this blind, by the way. He just feels it. He senses it. His 7th sense. The ability to know when a fort lands. On top of that, he can also speak with ghosts. That is way less cool. And less useful if you're a StarCraft professional. What are dead people gonna tell you about this game? Nothing. Probably worse than you. CC is gonna get sniped. Ooh. 2-2 finishes up right now. I feel like, though, even with combat shield and 2-2 finishing up, this base would have died because Clem was just out of position. Like, this wasn't a case of, oh, if only I had X, Y, or Z. It's like, no, if you would have been in position, you probably could have made somewhat of a stand, but you weren't in position, and thus you couldn't. 3-3 starts here right now for Clem as a hive starts. Lurker then on the way. It felt for a long time to me like Shin was just fully setting up for a big shove. Hydra, Ling, Bane going in there, trying to kill his opponent ASAP. But that is not at all the case. No, actually it is the case. He's gonna go for it. Okay, he's stacking behind it though, so he's not super committed into this. Combat shield not quite finished up during this, and Clem is losing at a very rapid pace. Split off of Hydras towards the top side. Banelings are gonna connect with practically everything here. I think even the CC could die, but instead we're gonna connect with a bunch of Marines. Gonna kill every single SCV over here. GG gets called as Shin breaks the French Terran and picks up map number 1. And as we enter Winter Madness, we kind of have to remember what went wrong there for Clem. You could say he got outplayed, and I think the key moment is probably the fort base snipe, where the movement of Shin allowed him to get that clean fort, and in the follow-up push, there's just not enough supply there for Clem. On top of that, you have some mistakes like the combat shield and all of that good jazz. But we shouldn't forget that the early game was just pure chaos. And terrible from Clem's side. Like, it's not just pure chaos, right? Chaos can end well. Like, it can be a very chaotic situation, and maybe you lose like some mining time, but you kill 6 links, and your follow-up is good. But it was terrible. It wasn't just one run by. You had the first 6 links, then you had another link run by, and another link run by, and another link run by, and a link run by to the third, and a link run by to the third again. And it was just constant like losing of SCVs, like bleeding out. And it was extremely frustrating for Clem. And it felt like he never got a good, like a strong grip on the game, which is what you would want if you're a player like Clem. And many people, one more thing that I want to say about that actually is that I feel like if you're Clem in that situation and you look at all that, it's like, I had a god-awful early game, right? Like, it legitimately went like freaking dog water, like dog tier. They'd become a little bit more passive. Clem never does this. Clem, although he might play more passive build orders, he never changes into a passive style. He'll always be out on the map. He'll be going for things. He'll be making it happen, you know? And that is what I'm fully expecting here as well. Like, I'm not expecting him to sit behind 2 factories, pumping 2 tanks at a time. That is just not his style. He is someone that wants to be there, you know, in the face of the opponent, making plays. In the previous game I said, I'm a bit afraid, you know, like maybe we should wait a bit longer with getting tanks, but actually I think the mines were great. They did a good job. The problem was the movement near the fort base, of the back of a bad early game. And yeah, I loved how he played. Fantastic stuff. This game is going to be much nicer for him as a start. We have this was a standard 15 hours. This is actually Shin's standard opener, if I'm not mistaken. He'll play a 4 queen, I believe this is. Very fast lair with this as well. Very, very quick lair. It's crazy to watch him play this. So I believe you get the 3rd base, then you get the lair, and then you add in the 4th queen. That is what I think I remember. It's also possible he actually gets the lair a bit faster. And he just goes into Evo Chamber Rush here. I guess he has different setups going with this similar type of build order. We also only are seeing triple queen for now. No 4th queen quite yet, as 18 links are in productions. Look at that. We have no extra workers that could really go anywhere anyway, so the links make a lot of sense to me. Here we go. Oh, Clem's gonna try to run by right now. Metabolic boost not being done is such a pity. Such a damn pity. Such a shame. Really such a shame. I think you could still try and catch these Hellions. Like maybe just fully move north with your links. And see if you can catch that. The follow-up is going to be quick Marines. What is this? I am not familiar with this build. I am not at all familiar with this build. It's going to be quick Marines. So just 2 Hellions total. Marine into Banshee. This is a trick. This is a trick build. So this smells and looks and feels exactly how a double Hellion into double Rex would look. So this is a trick out of Clem, and we'll see if Shin is gonna fall for the trick. So far, no scout has been made. This Banshee is gonna go across the map completely unscouted. Look how late this layer is right now, because it was Carapace first. There's not going to be any spores coming out. If this Banshee actually gets in position with Cloak, I don't want to say it's game over, but it's gonna be minus 7 drones here, minus 6 drones. Lots of mining time lost as well. Yeah, the trick worked. The trick absolutely... What a cute build order. We're gonna get an anti-liberator spore. No, this is not even an anti-liberator spore. Excuse me. This is an anti-drop spore. This spore is to stop a double medevac from landing here. And it potentially is going to help out later against this Banshee. But for now, this is such a dramatic start to things. I wonder if Clem realizes what's happening. If so, he should be flying in, not out. If he knows what this is, I think he figured it out. I think he figured it out. Spores did go up here as well. So in 5 seconds from now, that is going to be... you know, a good defense as well for this base. Ooh, a little bit too far forward. It's going to tank 2 shots into the face. Maybe can kill 1 more drone here as he moves towards the left. Banshee near the 3rd base. Ends up killing pretty much nothing. Now wants to maybe dive on top of some drones. See if he can do something there. Overseer starts. He starts pounding his queen. The queen doesn't like it. Queen is not loving the pounding of those Banshees. 2 more barracks coming in as well behind this. We have our first tank that just popped out. And overall, I think we're feeling happy. Send a few good hooks. 24 seconds in, that's 33%-ish. Both Banshees staying alive. What a difference with this game and the last game, huh? Just like damage, control. Just the grip that each player has on the game. Shin is lower in supply, is supply blocked. It's gonna get a Hydra then out right now. As we're gonna get a second factory into the mix. I don't know where that is. Okay, it's gonna be over here in the 3rd. Look at little walls being formed, which is kind of odd because you're gonna need to re-land your factory at some point then. To get a tech lab or a reactor. I think it's gonna be a reactor. We're gonna have our first push out towards the 4th base. Honestly, this 4th base is toast. No, what toast? Maybe no. Okay, bailing count's a bit higher than expected, maybe. But this is hitting so freaking tight. 720 with the 1-1 upgrade. Hell yeah, baby. Now we're talking. Combat shield, sadly, is not done yet. Can we get a big shot? We can get a big shot. That was a phenomenal shot. 2 more Banes are going to go down. 4 Banes remain as we speak. And can we target those down as well? We have a tank. So with a bit of splash and a little help from your friends, you can sometimes make things happen that weren't imaginable to you just a couple of seconds ago. Clem's gonna pull back. Dude, having a tank here and then like tank up here, that's a crazy move. Could maybe kill some of these morphing Banes. Yeah, I was gonna say, these are very far forward. Ooh, 1 more Bane, not gonna get sniped. We're gonna pick up and the piss off. Spore in the natural is of course now in the natural mineral line. So if this was going to be a straight up attack into the net, that could have been something. We're gonna get a scan. Gonna get the majority of these tumors, I think. Oh, he's not actually scanning. It felt like he wanted to scan, but instead we're gonna get a pickup. And indeed, here comes the... Oh, no. No drop into the natural still. Same time, we have an attack over here. Combat shield has finished up right now. We're gonna get a high ground drop onto the 5th. And this base is toasty, maybe? No, Clem. Oh, wow. Did not pay attention. Instead, we're gonna get a scan over here. Clears pretty much, I think, what is the majority of creep, to be honest. There's really not that many tumors, so killing 4 or 5 tumors. I think one of which was active. It's gonna be a pretty decent deal in my mind. No creep leading up towards the 5th base. No creep leading towards this area. So 5th, 6th, whatever you call this. It's not gonna be taken either. So Marine Mine now moving out. Drilling Claws is done. Not done. Not done. Hasn't even started yet. Here we go. Oh. Run by, or what you call it, flank almost happened here. 2 Banelings do get the connections, or could get the connections. Not the greatest target fire. If Clem is in tip-top shape there, both of these Banelings die before they ever reach anything. Let me tell you that much. Okay, one goes down, second one goes down. Clem enters the high ground once more. These mines are in a precarious position right now, where they're not really contributing into the fight. They really need to move further forward. There we go. Double burrow comes in. Medevac count is phenomenal here. This base is in some serious trouble, I think. I really do believe that this base is going to be in some serious trouble. If it's not this wave, then I think it's going to be the next wave, because the medevac count just isn't being deleted. They're still only on layer tech as well, which means that there's never going to be an anti-medevac type of thing. One more good creep tumor swipe is all we really need. Mines can now... Ooh, he's not going to go for the scan. Straight up into the drones instead. Yeah, these mines are going to make it so hard to have a quick run in here. And that's really the purpose of the mines, right? It's to deter the Zerg from just bum rushing the Terran army. Kind of similar to the previous game, except this time without a hive, without an infestation pit. Shin is just going to go for it. 2-2 upgrades against 2-2. Hydraling Bane versus Marine Marauder. Very many medevacs. And mine. And I guess there's also a tank here still in the back, which is going to help out. Good lift there. Barely in time. Liberator showing up. Natural's toast. Natural is going to take a lot of damage. No Overseer here to help against the burrowed mines. 4 SCVs have gone down. No Overseer to spot the high ground tank. 10 kills already on this tank. Make that 11. Can we get another shot? Did I hear 13? Hell yeah, I did. Oh, Overseers are actually here. They're in the back. Did not notice that. Neither did Clem. As Shin is pushing in. And this feels like it has a lot of potential, but he needs to do the job here. He cannot pull back and transition. Transitioning is not going to be possible. And killing 28 workers is nice, but it's not good enough. It actually is not good enough at all. Production is too high. Orbital count of 3. Like, I just don't think... This is a death trap. I actually believe this to be a death trap right now. I think that Shin is misunderstanding what's happening here. He needs to pull back. He needs to reinforce with Banelings. And now he's adding in some drones into the mix. I think he wants to try and transition out of this. I am not entirely certain if you can. He's building a hive. He's adding in infestors into the mix. The moment we get 3-3 upgrades, the way that these fights are just going to ever so slightly favor Clem. More and more and more. It's gonna be crazy, let me tell you. Off the charge. Off the charge. Absolutely. Liberator gets sniped. Poof poof. No. Peacefully coexisting. Love to see it. A little bit of Terran Zerg loving. Like my boy Jimmy, Raina and Kerrigan. Shout out to them. I hope they're both doing well. Lip sieges up. Marines moving in the back. Not actually being hit at all here by these Banies. Still have a flank coming in, but I don't think there's Banes in there, which means if there's no Banes anywhere, and you have 3-3 upgrades, ooh, Clem actually abandons mission. Loses a lot of supply there. That does kind of surprise me, actually. That did kind of surprise me. And it will continue to surprise me. Okay, mine on top of the ramp. Marine, mine, Liberator. Having a good old time. Don't forget, Carapace hasn't even started yet. So I thought it was going to be a much more narrow of a window, but it's actually a fairly large window that we have right now. Okay, Lip Siege up. Once again, Marines kiting off creep, impossible to deal with, obviously. We're going to need a fungal plus bane stuff, I think. This is a good run by the way, holy crap. Shin really has a way of finding the perfect time to go for these fungal misses. Next fungal, it needs to connect. It really needs to connect. Okay, that's a big fungal. That is a big fungal, holy crap. Can we get another one on the left side here? We have the energy available. Baneling count is pathetic. This is such an awkward game because economically, Clem is actually doing extremely poor at this point. He's not even really rebuilding SCVs. He's just sending stuff in. The problem is the armor. The lack of extra armor for Shin. And the lack of banelings really in his composition. Both are things that seriously worry me. I almost feel like that... Oh, I love this drop. Oh my god, I love this drop. What a beautiful little drop we've got going on over here. Spore's gonna get targeted down. Liberator sieges up. You're going to need some type of splash to deal with this. And there's just no splash here. No ultra. No baneling. No lurker. Now he's gonna try to go in. I don't think that's good enough. Oh, that is... Well, kind of. Maybe? I don't know. Good enough? I'm not sure. Gonna have another attack up here. Lots of mines in the mix. Fungal's gonna connect big time, but none of the banelings do get the connections as a follow-up. We get the first hit, but where's the combination punch? It ain't here, let me tell you. It ain't here. 95 army supply, 98 army supply against 73. Chitinous plating finishing up. We have one ultra, I believe, that's out somewhere. But GG's gonna get called. As Clem is gonna win game number 2 over here. From a significant economic deficit. Yeah, definitely an interesting game there. We'll see if the trend will continue on here. As we hit Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock sounds like the name of a Pokemon game released in 2006. But instead it's going to be a map that we're playing here between Shin and Clem. Pretty sure it was called Ruby Red, wasn't it? Emerald Green and Ruby Red, I think, were the 2 games. I think that's pretty much where I cut off. Because I remember my one of my neighbors, like a kid in the neighbor, he had a Game Boy. It's like the wank one. It's like I'm not sure if it's called a Pocket. I want to say it didn't have color. It's like a black and white Game Boy. Because I had the Game Boy Color, but I got that a little bit later. This kid, he had a Game Boy and it had Pokemon Yellow on it. I remember we played it at his house. Dude, I was freaking... Like, this game was sick. Walking around with Pikachu, like, behind you. And you're going through this, like, little forest. And you have the Caterpies and the other guys coming at you, you know? And then meeting Brock in the first gym, I think. Like, sick times. And then I got my first real games that I bought myself. Like I remember from the birthday money that me and my brother had, we bought the Game Boy Color together, and we bought Pokemon Silver. I think it was even included there. So we got Pokemon Silver. We got a game called El Dorado as well, which was fantastic. Really nice. I'm not sure if you call it a platformer, but I think it kind of was. There was a bit of jumping involved, there was some slashing. That was a fun time. It had like a Shrek, like kind of a Super Smash type of game, where you could do like combat between different Shrek characters. Except we returned it because we couldn't beat the Gingerbread Man, which I think was level 3 already. It was like, this game's too freaking hard, what the hell. Yeah, we were like 6 though, and dumb as bricks. Actually, my brother was older. Yeah, apparently still couldn't beat freaking the Gingerbread Man. What's up with that, buddy? I'd love to play that game again though, see if I could take on the Gingerbread Man now. But yeah, I think then after Silver and Gold, like, well, I was yellow before Red and Blue, or is it like the same time? Can't remember. Maybe it's like all the same type of setup. And then afterwards you had like Silver Gold, and then maybe Crystal or Platinum or something like this. And I think at that point they introduced like Fire Red. Fire Red? I thought it was Ruby Red. Emerald Green. Ruby Red, or maybe just Ruby and Emerald. And then you had Fire Red and Forest Green or something like this. I think it was something dumb like that. Either way, enough about Pokemon and me being incapable of beating the... Is he called the Gingerbread Man in English? Like the guy in Shrek with the high-pitched voice that I assume is made of gingerbread. And I think lives in a gingerbread house. So yeah, that guy in Shrek. I'm not really sure if you could play as Shrek in this game. I'm gonna figure it all out. I'm gonna keep you guys up to date on my Shrek ventures, as the Shreking community calls it. Big community supporting Shrek and the boys. Alright, what is this early game? What actually is okay? This is a fast lair. This is kind of the build I was talking about in the previous game. And I've seen him do this and then go into a roach warren, but he's not building a roach warren. And he's taking 4 gas instead. So this starts to, you know, it starts to smell a little bit. It starts to smell a bit funky. A bit weird. I don't want to say this is a Spire build, but if it walks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, and it protects its territory like a duck, when you try to walk too close to them, it's probably a Hydralisk then. Oh my god. That is very different from a duck. I thought it was going to be a Spire for sure with the 4 gas. No Evos though. This is the type of build order that I do. But I will do it without a build order. And our boy Shin here is just going for it. This is a really cute one. This is going to hit like a truck, isn't it? This actually is... Okay, nice scan. Oh, that's a good... There's lots of information here. Look at Clem. What does he see? Interesting. Gas. I mean, he knows most likely it's going to be 4 gas. I would say this is Spire. I wonder if he's going to build this tank. This is actually such a tense moment. Because if he doesn't build the tank... I don't want to say that he's cooked, but he's in a world of trouble. If, however, he builds the tank... he doesn't necessarily win, but it's a really good start. Another thing is, will he move across the map? Imagine you fly across the map, you fly into 10 Hydras, you lose your medevacs, boom, game is over. Congratulations. You just lost the game. Why would you do that, Clem? Why would you not just stay alive? What a huge blunder by you. Lingrambai comes in, is gonna try to kill a couple of these Marines. Is gonna kill at least a couple of these Marines. And 2 SCVs, but also lose every single Jerkling. Is he gonna go grooved spines before he attacks, or is this like a muscular augments only type of push? Can be like, you know what, this can suck it. I just want the Hydra speed, and then we're gonna start, you know, pushing across the map. Don't need no groove spines in my life. Get our 7 drones. Okay, this is a non-committed all-in. I love it. We'd call this a strong pressure build. Like, this is a disguised all-in, you know? This is no, and it's tricking no one. You know, it's like a lion wearing a penguin mask. It's like, you have mains. But you're not fooling me. This needs to deal some damage. Okay, he's pooping in. Link's coming from the side. Ooh. Let's go for the tank there. Not the greatest splits on the Hydras. Doesn't target the medevacs, instead goes for the Marines. Probably the right call. Don't think you have enough damage to go for medevacs first. Actually moves him very far forward right now. Some big tank shots here are gonna connect. And this push is seemingly coming to an end. Behind this, we have a somewhat, like, I guess we could consider it a transition. But look at the overall state of the game. 39 army supply, 1-1 upgrades against 0-0. We're on 5 barracks, no reactors on this yet. So that's going to be kind of the next thing in line. Maybe actually we'll go for 2-2 first. I think I'd prefer 2-2. Then we get an infestation pit. Now, listen to this crazy call. This is not going to be for lurkers. This is going to be for infestor. And then maybe lurker. So still eventually lurkers, but I think infestor Hydra link, because there's no bailing nest, right? So against like mid-game timings, imagine like a 2-3 tank timing with 24 to 35 Marines. What are you gonna do if you don't have infestor? Probably freaking die. Like Shin looked at that option, you know? He's like, ooh, that doesn't look good, dying. Freaking hate that. What does the doctor recommend? Doctor recommends infestors. 2 to 4 of them. And what do we get? Infestors. 2 to 4 of them. Now, next money probably should get invested into... yeah, there we go, into the hive. Good stuff. Dude, I freaking love it when I look like a magician. Time for a hive. Pew. And then Moses said, let there be a hive. Now, Moses split the sea. I don't think he could make hives. There used to be this Dutch social media network that was called Hives. You could leave... I guess, I think it was called a scratch on someone's wall. I'm not sure if that's the right translation, actually. Like a bit of a little thing on someone's wall, and then they'd read it. You could also personalize the page, like different colors. I'm pretty sure you could have music play as well when you entered it. Pretty sure it could be at different volumes as well. I can't know for certain, but I feel like my hive space might have had the internet is really, really great for porn song as like the standard one, because I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. Maybe I'm misremembering. Maybe someone else did it, and I wish it was me who came up with it. God, what a trip the early 2000s were, huh? It saddens me, you know, that this will never be there again. Me making crappy hive pages. Mine was completely red. It has nothing to do with this game. Alright, Microbial Shroud's about to... Wait, Microbial Shroud's about to finish up. That's a sentence I didn't anticipate saying today. I still believe in the power of Microbial Shroud. It just seems slightly problematic that no Zerg believes in the power of Microbial Shroud. Like, Zergs genuinely... They hate it. I don't know why. They just don't build it. Like, I don't make the rules, I don't even follow them, but it is what's happening. Nice Microbial Shroud there, defending absolutely nothing. It always feels a bit weird to me when people go Microbial Shroud using Hydra Link compositions or Hydra Link Bane. Because you kind of want to be static inside of the Microbial Shroud to make, you know, the ultimate use of it. To really be abusing it in the best possible way. Yeah, this queen is going to come from the side. We're actually having a lot of drones die over here as well. Left side base is going to get scouted. I fed scan Clem up about 15 supply. I mean, really, by any metric, this game is not looking good for Clem. And I really do mean by any metric. Or sorry, it's not looking good for Shin. It's looking great for Clem. Then we're going to get some microbials here. One fungal. Oh my god, this is garbage. None of the banelings hit. I'm not even sure if there were banelings here. No, where are they? Oh, there we go. Decided not to fight with them. Interesting call. Most of the time people will fight with their entire army. Shin here forgot the most important part of the army. Like, he hit a fungal or two. Just was nothing to finish the job there. Hate to see it. Now the 3 infestors are just going to go downstairs by themselves. I mean, Clem is in such a dominant position, and he generally doesn't give away games like this. You know, as my boy Justin Bieber once said, never say never. But I am starting to lean towards, you know, the never right now. A strong never, maybe even. There's going to be one Ultra out, but the Marauder count is insane. Look how many, this is like 12 Marauders. This is 12 Marauders, actually. Holy crap. King of the Marauders, he's here. It is just not dying either. It's gonna move forward here once more, a little bit further forward. We have an army on the left side as well. Marines in the back. Ooh, that's a secondary stim that feels painful. Baneling's now gonna roll in once more. Don't get the connections. Another stim though, and this army is on the ropes. No, okay, this is a good fight. This is a good fight here for Shin. He killed a lot of these Marauders, and the Ultra comes out. This was good. This was phenomenal. Even without an infestor, this was a... I don't want to say this is a winning fight, but it's like... This is an important one. He would have died otherwise if he doesn't get a winning fight here. Chitin is about to finish up. That's going to change things. We have a couple of fungals. One is going to hit just 2. We get another one, yes, but just hits these links. Doesn't really do a whole lot. Chitin's plating has finished up. Liberator count is growing. Liberator count is growing. Now we have Corruptors on the way. Let's see what these Corruptors are gonna do against the Libs. Is there Corruptors on the way? No, there's no Corruptors on the way. I just hallucinated. He wishes he had to, what you call them on the way. This is a good fight, no? This is an extraordinary fight. This is an extraordinary fight. What the hell? She's just winning. Like, we had a good time, my friend, but now it's time for you to die. Like, what? I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm like 22. Okay, well, tough luck, brother. I'm here, and I say, hasta la vista. I don't speak freaking Spanish. What does that mean? Look at these Ultras freaking chomping these SCVs. We actually do have a Spire on the way now, so eventually I guess we're gonna get Corruptors. Or maybe it's for Brood Lords? I guess he saw some Liberators at least. And they're all just getting freaking sniped. Look at this! SCV's not really being microed, now they're being pulled back. Liberators trying to siege up. 20 workers going down. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 20. I would love to see a Viper, by the way. This is a fun fact that is not really fun, but it is a fact. Well, it's not like an objective fact, but it's something that I've noticed. Or well, that Lambo noticed, then he told me, and then I noticed it. Is that very often, Zergs will have a strong preference for one spellcaster. And there's almost no Zerg players that are capable of using both spellcasters simultaneously. The only one that I've really seen done this effectively is Serral, who's very good with Viper and Infestor at the same time. I don't know if this is due to a lack of control groups or because of how your brain works and how difficult it is to kind of have different groups of spellcasters and moving them in different ways. Because both the Viper and the Infestor require different usage, but you almost never see them in tandem. You almost always see them isolated. Almost always. Not always, but almost always. Hydra's now moving in forward. This base is almost dead. This was from the Marauder attack, wasn't it, earlier? Needs to be careful. Really needs to be careful. I wouldn't even mind throwing a Transfuser or two on there, just to stay safe. Just in case you're not staying safe. Left side base is being taken. I think getting Ghost here would be a good call. Do we have an Academy? Yeah, we have an Academy. So, against Corruptors, Ghosts are fantastic. Like, if you have a setup with Marine Marauder, Marine Marauder, Mine, Medevac, Ghost, it's really hard for Corruptors to do anything. Like, the Corruptors, they're kind of sitting there doing not a whole lot. Most of the time. Also, if you have, like, Liberators... Like, this is really too many lips, I think. 9? If they're set up, and you only have 7 Corruptors, it's not good enough. Even 9, I think, is not good enough. You have 9 lips, you know what you need? You need Ben Shapiro to help you out. Destroy them with facts and logic. Oh, actually, the Fungal also does the job. Oh my god. Don't tell the conservative movement. What the hell? 2 big Fungals here on all of these. Now the Liberators are going to siege up, but it's fairly late already. Ultras are chomping through as well. Microbial Shrouds, I feel like they do help. Even though they're not covering the entire time. Just a little bit. Like if you can't hit the Fungals, might as well freaking Microbial. Shin is going to get pushed back, however, which is frustrating, obviously. Very, very frustrating. Three Ghosts are out, 3 more on the way. Now, call me illiterate at math, but I think that's going to be 6. That is going to be 6. Base being pushed back here as well. Dude, I'm loving the vibes. I'm actually loving the vibes here that Shin is going for. This does feel scary though. This is an overstimmed army, but if you don't connect with it, it is still an army. Okay, never mind. This Bane account is crazy. Okay, let's take a look at the mine shots. It's 1 on the Corruptors. It's gonna be 2. It's the Lynx. Baneling count still fairly large here. I have to admit it. That is a fairly large Baneling count. At the same time we have an attack here on the top. It's gonna get stopped by the Ling Ultra. Wait, is Clem actually losing this? You know, with Clem I always feel like he's gonna pull like some trick out of his sleeve. You know, there's gonna be an ace up there. And then another ace. And like, well, Clem, this is not really how this game is supposed to work. He's like, I don't care. 4 of a kind. 4 aces. 3 of them hearts. It's like, what? Pretty sure we're playing with 1 deck of cards here, Clem. What are you doing? Clem's like, I don't care. Give me your cash. Or I'll shoot you. He's like, oh my god, he brought a gun. Crazy. Never play poker with Clem. But right now it actually is starting to look bad. Like, Shin wasn't even in a good spot. He did a freaking Hydra all in that failed. For God's sake, Clem. You're supposed to be the chosen one. You're not supposed to lose these games. What are you doing? Well, it's not over yet. 116 supply to 103. We have better upgrades overall for Clem as well. Ghost for now staying alive. Good snipes coming in as well. Clem pushing this back. The second gun in his sock doing some serious work right now. You gotta pat him down better. Actually, this is a serious pat down. 89 supply to 89 armor supply. Very, very close. Marine count is high though. And these Corruptors are actually doing a fantastic job against the Medevacs, forcing this army further and further back. Planetary, which is in the wrong spot by the way, is setting up over here. Oop, oop, oop. Planetary goes down. Orbital Command most likely is gonna fall. Look, Ghosts are dying. That's it. Game, set, and match. As Shin is going to take this with a 2-1 score. And although that is a joyous occasion for all the Zergs around the world, during this cast I managed to break my mouse. So I'm gonna need to replace that. It's not neither here or there though. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye bye.